What's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video, another quick take. I got my main man, my partner, my brother here.
In the words of Nas, it's been a long time coming. Thanks for having me again, bro. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So we got a situation that you brought to my attention. So we've got an article courtesy of hotnewhiphop.com, which says Terrell Owens reveals why he doesn't date black women. The article goes on to say that Terrell Owens may no longer be a wide receiver for the NFL, but he's still an important voice in that realm and an interesting celebrity figure to follow. He made friends in high places in other avenues, such as when he, Travis Scott, and 50 Cent linked up for a Houston golf tournament. However, a recent and controversial remark from the football star landed him in some hot water, at least at first glance. Moreover, during a talk with a friend on Instagram Live, he revealed that he doesn't like to date black women, saying, "My experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good," Terrell Owens remarked. "When I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls was when I went to college. I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. I was skinny, I was scrawny, I was teased from high school even to college. I got teased for being dark skinned, so there was a lot of self-esteem issues." He says, "Nah, I'm being dead honest. When I got my opportunity, my first experience with a white girl, it wasn't bad, but I just totally gravitated to white girls after that. That wasn't the situation. So again, my experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good, but that still didn't deter me from still dating or pursuing black girls. So my thing now is, because I know there's a stigma that's stereotypical of athletes to go off and make money and date the opposite color, opposite race. But for me, now where I am, it's not even about color. It's not even about race. For me, it's about somebody that I have some chemistry with, good energy, and I get a good vibe with. That's where I am. We all want somebody that's attractive. You know what I mean? Aesthetics are going to play a big part. Anybody that says, "Oh, well, I don't care what a person looks like," that's a lie," he concluded. That's a lie. We all want somebody that we can roll over and wake up to that looks pleasing to the eye. Everybody's experiences have been different. For me, when I grew up, my high school is pretty much, it's 50. I don't know what percentage of black and white, but I lived in a black neighborhood. At the end of the day, I attempted to date black girls when I was younger. I wasn't as handsome as I am now. I didn't have this. Okay, yeah, I'm not even gonna. Yeah. So anyway, um, what are your thoughts, man? Because you were the one that saw this, so I'm gonna give you first dibs on that.
Yeah, man. We did a couple podcasts with, me, you, a couple of other people talking about this. And, this kind of, the crazy part is the day before I found this article, I was having a discussion at work, and it was a conversation that I was just like, why are we even bringing this up? But, one of the supervisors, black women, she said, hey, Percy, I heard you have a girlfriend. She must be white, right? I said, she is, but what do you mean by that? She said, well, you don't seem like you date black women. And I said, first, and she's a nice woman, don't get me wrong. But I was
Right.
like, you don't know me. You don't know me. And, a couple other people say, yeah, you definitely look like the white girl type. Uh, and I told him, I'm like, look, I grew up in the projects. This is my first interracial relationship ever. And that doesn't mean that I don't find black women attractive. This is a black coworker that if I was single, I holler at her myself, right? But it's one of those things where I understand where he's coming from, and I know a lot of people going to dog him. Oh, he's a sellout and blah blah blah. We're going to touch into a lot of the stuff he said, but one of the main things, and one of the comments I saw regarding this article was people saying, "Yeah, colorism is a huge thing in the black community, and it's a topic that I've talked about on here in that Jubilee video. Do all black men think the same? Colorism is a big thing, and for a lot of minorities, that shapes their dating experience. And as someone who's been teased and bullied, and I don't act black enough, or I act like a white boy, even to that detriment, I still dated my fellow black women, and I still will.
Mm-hmm.
And but for him, I can understand that everybody's situation is different. I grew up in New York City. I don't know where he grew up, but grow up in New York City, especially in the projects, I'm always going to be around minorities. So my dating experience is going to be more tailored towards that. I just may not be everybody's cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, I know a lot of people are going to push back on what he said. But to be honest with you, look, at the end of the day, I can't fault him for that because, like he said, and I know what article you read, and I know one statement he said was, uh, when I was younger, I wasn't as good looking. I wasn't as rich. I wasn't as popular. So now that I am, not everybody wants to, take a look at me. But I'm not 100% mad at him about it because I'm glad he's starting a conversation on, that colorism debate. I remember as a
Mhm,
kid hearing light skin versus dark skin. That's even to this day, I still hear that. Oh,
mhm.
light skin do this better, dark skin do this better. We need to, get that divide through. And once we do that, I'm not saying every black person is going to stay within a race, but I would say there'll be more acceptance. But with that, let me turn it over to you. What do you think?
So honestly, even before I read the article, um, I already anticipated that his statements stemmed from some sort of insecurity or bad experiences that he had back in the day. And I've had this conversation about interracial dating and marriage for the last couple of years now with different people, and mostly black women who are, you know, how should I say, they're cool with the idea of dating white men. And a lot of them, they'll say, yeah, of course I'm going to date a white man because every time I dated a black man, it didn't go well, or I got treated like dirt. And every time I hear that, I'm like, well, hey, I can't knock you for, being in a situation where you had a relationship with somebody, you treated them well, and then they treated you like dirt. And then now you're open to the idea of dating a white man. You know what I mean? So I get it. Um, at the same time, it's just like, me personally, you know me, I'm never gonna all right, I'm never gonna date a white girl, a Latina chick, Asians. I'm not interested in those types of women because it's just one, I didn't grow up around those types of girls really. Those types of girls were never checking for me. See, here's the thing that I've been saying. I become a success and you see me with a white girl, something is seriously wrong. I'm telling you that right now. Anybody listening to this, something is seriously wrong. I'm probably in the sunken place. And I'm not saying that Terrell Owens is in the sunken place, but I'm just keeping it real. What do I look like becoming a success? And then all of a sudden, I start dating girls that weren't checking for me when I didn't have anything. That's just my mentality. That's just the way that I look at it. My whole entire life, black women were always the ones that were checking for me. Black women were always the ones that were treating me like Big Willie. Yeah, I might not have had the picture perfect relationships with them. They had their issues, but at the same time, those are the girls that were checking for me. So those are the ones that were showing me love growing up. Black women were my vision of beauty growing up because I used to watch a lot of films with beautiful black women in it. So I was always like, hey, I want one of those when I grow up or when I'm old enough to date. Those are the types of women that I'm gonna date. I never really looked at white women as the standard of what I think beauty is. Yes, there are white women that are attractive out there, yeah, but what do I look like? But the thing is, really, I can say all in all, that my perspective is kind of the opposite of his because I can't say that I've had horrible ass experiences with black women. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say that. Like, yeah, I had relationships that have had their issues, but I'd be lying if I said, oh, these are horrible ass experiences or these were experiences that were enough for me to just say, you know what? Screw black women. I'm just going to go ahead and date white girls. You feel what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
can't relate if I'm being honest. So on one hand, I can, disagree with him, but at the same time, I can't chastise him because I don't know what it's like to be teased by, black women for, being skinny or, you know what I mean? Like, because I wasn't always in shape, the way that I am now. And when I was super skinny, I was still getting girls. You know what I'm saying? And these were black girls. So I would come about the shirt. They weren't, saying anything about me being skinny. You know what I mean? So, I can't relate. So I'm gonna just be fair.
no, that's 100%. And there's a couple other things I want to touch on that he talked about. But yeah, first of all, I've had bad relations, but I never really had a bad experience dating black women. So, and this goes to another point I was going to make too. If people want to date other races, that's cool because when I was living in LA, it's not as diverse as New York City is. So there's going to be a lot more white people and other races, so I understand if people want to do that. But when people start, and this not directly Owens, but other people I've seen who degrade their people. Oh, I don't date black women because they nappy, they're aggressive. I don't co-sign with that. I think that's horrible. I think anybody who justifies their preference by dogging their own, their fellow black person, I don't co-sign with that at all. And I see that a lot. And for me, like I tell people all the time, because a lot of people assume this actually goes back to one of my previous jobs when I first moved to LA. I remember this one chick, she was like, "Oh man, you act white," and this because I'm at work. So when I'm doing customer service, and us being actors, we know how to talk, we know how to communicate. I'm not some illiterate dummy, but when I leave work and they see how I am, they're like, "Oh, you a lot different than I thought." It's like, yeah, you don't know me. You see me at work. You don't know me when I'm outside and doing my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that people assume that I only date white girls, I'm like, you know what? You never even took the time to ask me my dating history and nothing. You just assumed that just because the way I look. And I'm sure for a lot of other black, and going back to the Jubilee video, a lot of the people that will hit me up and leave comments were people saying, "Hey, I went through the same experience as you, being dogged by my own people." And so when I do decide to pursue something outside, oh, you're going to the white fence, the snow bunnies. It's like, no, this opens a conversation for something else, right? But I do want to ask you about this, and he
Mm-hmm.
touched on it. There's been a recent trend of, or I would say there's been more awareness of seeing celebrity black men dating outside their race. I, I,
Mm-hmm.
I would say a lot of them are dating, especially white women or another race. Do you think that that is an issue, or do you think that it is what it is? Love is love, and
Well,
they should just
absolutely not. Yeah, no, I don't think, it is like it is what it is love, because I'm gonna quote Dr. Umar Johnson, and this is facts. When you're dating someone, you're basically making a statement. You're making like a socio-economic statement about, what you value. And I feel like a lot of times when you see these guys, dating, white girls or Latina girls and all of that, whether it comes from them having a bad experience or not, they're kind of essentially separating themselves from their own people, right? Because you are choosing to date somebody that is outside of your race, and the kids that you have, believe it or not, they're not going to be black. They're going to be biracial. And especially if the mother is not black, then those kids are majority white. And their experience in this world is not going to be exactly what it is for you and me. You know what I'm saying? Or people who are 100% black. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you are making a statement. That is what you are saying. So if you see me dating a white girl, and I'm not saying you specifically, but I'm just saying this is just my
yeah, yeah,
mentality. This is just why I wouldn't do it, because I'm making a statement. So I'm a successful actor, and I'm a multimillionaire. I got hundreds of millions of dollars, and I got young black men that look up to me. And then when they see me dating a white girl, they're gonna want to be just like me. So they're gonna say, "Wow, to get to where he's at, maybe I'm gonna need to have a white woman on my arm." That's the mentality. So when you see a lot of these other public figures following the trend, why do you think that is? Because they see other successful black men getting, white girls and shit like that. That's a fact. And I'm not saying, again, like, white women aren't attractive, because I've seen a lot of them on Instagram that are. I be liking them pics. I like them pics. But I know when it's all said and done, a black woman is the final destination, whether I choose to make a stop at a white girl or not. You know what I mean? You're not going to see me reproducing with a woman that is not black, because, again, I cannot say that I'm pro-black. I can't say that I care about how black people are doing in this world, and then for me to go and then share my resources, my offspring, with a woman that's not black. So it is true. Like it's not, oh yeah, oh, love is love and all that other types of bullshit, because we don't. This is not a fantasy land. This is not a movie. This is real life, and it affects black people grand scale what we do.
yeah. No, you 100% right. And this goes. I've noticed that trend, and don't get me like people like LeBron, Deontay Wilder. I think Deontay Wilder
No,
like
his
his stuff
girl is
like
not
that.
black. She's not
Oh,
black.
she's not.
She's
All
not.
right,
She's
but
not black.
yeah,
Will
yeah,
Smith.
LeBron.
Will Smith.
Will
Okay,
Smith.
so there are plenty of you know black male celebrities that are dating black women, but again, it's not popular. It's not popular to say date within your race. Every other single race does it, and they advocate for dating amongst themselves. Black people are the only ones that are constantly being force fed interracial dating, interracial marriages. That is a fact. And it's like when I say that, it's like as if I shouldn't be saying that I love my own women, that I love black women. You know what I'm saying? It's almost as if, oh no, you should want to date Indian girls. You should want to date Asians. No, I fucking don't. No, I don't. And I don't want to. Because not once in my entire life, oh, well, maybe Latina girls a little bit, but not once in my entire life have I had some Indian girl checking for me. Not once in my entire life have I ever gotten a white girl checking for me. At least not the white girls that other white men want. You see what I'm saying? Because Dr. Umar Johnson made a distinction. A lot of times when you see, and I'm talking about regular black men, not celebrities. When you see black men dating white girls, these don't be the white girls that other white men want. These be the white girls that white men don't want. You see what I'm saying? So again, that's why I said it'll be something. It'll be a red flag if you see me walking down the street holding hands with a white girl. And honestly, it just wouldn't feel right. Like it just wouldn't feel right. And again, like you have a white girlfriend, so like you could probably tell me what it's been like for you in comparison to the black girls that you've dated. But for me, I just feel like if I'm just at my house, chilling with her, at night or some shit, like what we gonna talk about? What we gonna talk about? I mean, we're gonna have jungle fever, but that's pretty much it. And then even then, I got the moral of the story with Jungle Fever with Wesley Snipes, Annabella Sciorra, directed by the great Spike Lee. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like you do it, but the cons outweigh the pros of interracial dating, which is why again you would not see me engaging in that long term. I'm not saying if there's some fine ass white girl, with a nice body, pretty face, and nice teeth and all of that trying to holler at me, I'm not gonna act like I'm gonna turn that down. But me and her are gonna have the conversation like I cannot seriously be with you long term because there are certain things about me that you will never understand. Even if you want to, you just can't. And I don't want to have kids and for them to again have a split identity. This is just me. This is just me. This is just how I, like how I operate and function and perceive certain things. Because and you've heard that, like how, let's say, even back in like the racist times, 50, 60 freaking years ago, biracial kids had like we're going through it too. So you have black kids that already, had certain issues moving through society. Then you had biracial kids who either weren't white enough or weren't black enough. So they weren't accepted by the white people because these white people knew that this kid was biracial, so they weren't accepted. Then you had, them trying to go over to black people, and then they weren't 100% accepted because they weren't, black enough. Why would I want my kid to go through that? Personally. And again, I'm not all that liberal. So, that's just me.
But yeah, this conversation too goes to, something we've talked about, and it's something he mentioned. We hear this all the time about the colorism in our community, right? The light skin, dark skin debate, and all that good stuff, or bad stuff, I should say, rather, because it's usually always negative. Do you think that also plays a big part in why some people prefer to date outside the race? Because we do hear, especially regards to a lot of dark-skinned black people, how they get treated unfairly or different because of how they look, and even their own families and friends and even partners look at them differently because they're dark skinned. Do you think that plays a big part in it?
It does play a part in that, because I think in the article that I read, basically he was talking about his own self-esteem. It was a self-esteem issue stemming from other people. And if you're not strong enough, that's going to have a long-lasting effect on your psyche. So what people do to feel better about what they see in the mirror, they go and get somebody else who is the complete opposite of them. So they're like, well, hey, I might not have, lighter skin, but I can have that vicariously through my partner. You see what I'm saying? Like that's it. And it's sad because it's like it's almost a self-loathing that people have. And this is why you got to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? I've had motherfuckers say shit to me about not being the biggest dude, about being skinny, but did that ever truly affect my confidence? No. You know what I'm saying? No. Like what really truly matters is yourself. But then again, that's something that you cultivate. So if you went through 25 years of your life feeling bad about your reflection in the mirror, then me saying that to you or anybody else, that shit ain't gonna matter. You know, but unfortunately, this is something that Black people do to themselves. Not even just from a colorist aspect, but just even the way that, you know, Black men and women treat each other in relationships. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like one of my exes, there were plenty of times where I didn't treat her the best. You know what I'm saying? So if she were to go ahead and say, I didn't have, you know, a good experience dating this one particular Black man, I wouldn't blame her, because there were times where I didn't treat her very fucking well. So when Black women tell me that shit, I'd be kind of, I feel like the villain trying to force them to date somebody they don't want to date, because they probably could have had, you know, worse boyfriends than I was, you know, at my most immature in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, on one hand, with the type of consciousness that I have, I hold Black people accountable, because it's like, you can't say I love my people, I love Black people, but yet, you know, if I look through your window at night, there's a white man in there. I look through your window, there's a white girl in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much do you really care about your people when you didn't care enough about your own people to pick one of your own? You know what I'm saying? It's like Black men and women, you know, they get that nice job. You know, their life, how should I say, you know, is like upgraded. And then they choose to share that with somebody that don't even look like them. Now, they may have their reasons and stuff like that, but then I don't want to hear how pro-Black you are, or how, you know, about your people you are. When again, you didn't think of, and I'm quoting Dr. Umar Johnson, you didn't think enough about your own people at the end of the
Right.
day, because I'm making a statement to myself, to my family, to my friends, and the rest of the world with who I choose as like my long-term, you know, partner, whether it's marriage, whether it includes marriage or not. So when you see me dating a Latina chick, that's a fucking statement. You see me dating an Indian girl, that's a statement. You see me dating a white girl, that is a statement that I am making, especially, and I don't want to make that type of statement to the young men that are going to be looking up to me. So you're always going to hear me say, get a Black girl, get a Black girl, because you know what, how should I say, the higher quality white girls, what their parents are telling them, get a white man, get a white man. Because it's still taboo for them. Like in this era now, they're really pushing interracial dating on Black women, because they don't want us reproducing with our own women anymore. So they're telling us, they're using guys like Terrell Owens and otherwise telling us, get you a white girl. Then society is using movies to tell, and mass media to tell Black women, go ahead and get you a fucking white boyfriend or white girlfriend if you're freaking, you know, lesbian and shit like that. So you see Little Mermaid, freaking Spider-Man, fucking Joker, the new Batman, Sonic the Hedgehog, and it goes on and on and on. It goes on and on and on with the way that, and commercials too, with the way that they're pushing interracial dating on us. And we're already 13% of the freaking population in America. So we're already a minority right now. And if the way that things are going, we're going to be even more of a minority, because there's going to be more biracial Black or biracial white kids than they're going to be pure Black people. That's a fact in America, at least.
Yeah.
So, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, knowing all of that, I cannot date a white girl long term and then say, this is the love of my life. She is going to have my kids. And then when my kids come out, they're not really going to look like me. They're not really going to look like me. That is a fact. And you see the difference. And I said this in that podcast, you know, like 2 years ago or almost 2 years ago, where I said, you look at biracial kids that come from a Black woman, they look mostly Black. Okay. Tracy Ellis Ross is biracial because her father is white, but she looks mostly Black. Then you look at Alfonso Ribeiro or Lionel Richie's daughters and shit like that, they look mostly white because it was a Black man fornicating with a white woman. And then how do they come out? They look like white girls. I don't want that. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. Unless she's biracial, and then like let's say like Zendaya, I marry Zendaya, and then like we have kids, they're gonna look Black. You know what I'm saying? Because her father is Black, I'm Black. All right, so the kids are gonna start to, it's gonna turn around a little bit. But either way, like I said, this is what I think. So this is why I am incapable of engaging in serious interracial dating because I know too much. Terrell Owens, he doesn't know what I know. Tyga, who you always see him with white girls, he don't know what I know. Jamie Foxx, I love Jamie Foxx, but I went on Shade Room. His woman is white. He might know what I know, but again, some people, they don't care because, like I said, love is love. It is what it is. And honestly, again, I can't even knock that because I know somebody that we were talking about this type of thing, and his wife or his girlfriend or the mother of his kids, she's a Latina woman. And he was like, yo, I wanted to date a black woman, but they don't be on code. And I know what he meant by that. Like how it's so hard to even get a black woman to, and I know it sounds cliche, but I don't even want to say to be feminine, but to be 100% invested in her relationship with that black man where she can be the woman that he needs to be the man that he needs to be for her. That is so fucking hard to find now. It is so fucking hard to find. So when I hear these guys dating white girls, I can't even be mad. I can't be mad at that shit. I can't. So it's like, I'm like, I don't want to sit on the fence. It's like, I understand all sides of the spectrum because you and me and other black men, it's like, all we really want is just to find a nice girl that's just like honest. She's loyal. She's supportive. She's loving. She's caring. You know what I'm saying? Like she's just everything that you need so that way you can be what you need to be for her. And right now, it's like, as I scroll through Instagram, it's like the likelihood of like finding that, it seems like it's just less and less and less because of the societal standards that they push on black women only. Oh, to be with a black woman now, you got to pay 80 to 90%, damn near 100% of all the bills. Yep. I don't see other, white men and Latino men, Asian men, Indian men have to, go through that or have these constant dialogues about who's paying for what and all this shit. No, I'm pretty sure if I asked a white couple, whatever age they are, do you guys just go split the bills 50-50? I'm pretty sure they're like, oh yeah, we do. We're supportive of each other. Oh, but when it comes to, freaking, black men and women, it's like this whole freaking debacle all the fucking time. And every time I see this shit, I'm like, yo, I don't see other people arguing with each other, at war with each other, the way that we are. So again, it's like Terrell Owens, if that's what he feels he needs to do to not have a headache every freaking day, I understand that. Me, I haven't given up hope on black women.
That's fair. This conversation, I mean, we can talk about this all day and, everybody's going to have a different opinion. I feel like this, because at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want. If you're going to date outside your race, go, by all means, go for it. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to stop that. And like you said, our society, from commercials to movies to rap videos and all, it's pushing it now. But just do it. If you are gonna do it respectful. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when I hear about interracial couples or a celebrity talking about it, it's downgrading somebody, and or it's not even somebody. It's downgrading their own people, and that's one of the biggest problems we have is we downgrade each other, and that's why so many people go outside. It's like being at home, right? If your parents and your family always degrade you and all that stuff, eventually you're gonna leave, and
you're gonna go elsewhere where you feel like you're gonna be respected and loved the way that you deserve. That's pretty much the rationale, behind black women going around, dating white people and shit like that, because they feel that these people are less likely to disrespect, them than black people. And we got to clean it up. We got to clean it up. For real. It's sad, but it's the truth.
No, we do it. And that's why this conversation, this is why I want to talk about it. And that's why I mentioned that work story, because I told her, like, at the end of the day, just because I come across a certain way doesn't mean anything. And that's the problem. We judge each other way harshly than any other. I shouldn't have to go to work and the first thing that comes in your mouth, oh, you date white.
Is that a black person that's saying that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like this. Like, you see me, man. Like, I have my opinions, but haven't I always been respectful of not only your relationship, but Natalie herself? Always,
Yeah, right.
always. So, but she's basically this person, whoever it is that you're talking about, is actually perpetuating exactly what pushed Terrell Owens to start only dating white women. That's exactly it. She might not be talking about your skin color or anything like that, but she's the reason why black people are just deciding to just go with another race because they don't want to deal with being heckled about whatever it is that their preferences are. Because
Yeah, no,
I can't turn things around by telling you who you should and shouldn't be dating. That's not how you do it. If she and here's the thing, if she's the one that is treating you the way that you need to be treated and deserve to be treated, you guys get along, you know what I'm saying? She's supportive, she's there for you. What sense does it make for me to tell you to break up with her for you to go and find a black woman that might not even have those qualities? That makes
right.
no sense. So if that's where you are and it's good for you, fucking stay there. You know what I'm saying? Like, stay there. Because again, like, I've never had the experience of dating a white girl to know what the shit is like. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm going into it knowing too much. Me, when I was 18, 19 years old, I didn't know any of this shit. So if I dated a white girl, it wouldn't have, been any different than dating a black girl at that particular time. Now I know the difference, because I know that we're all in pursuit of love at the end of the day. Everybody's looking for it in some way, shape, or form. And it's like wherever you can get it, if it's healthy, if it's functional, fine. Fine. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is. Just me. It's like I'm just looking for those things in black women, period. And then again, if you do see me around a white girl at some point in the future, again, she better look like fucking, Yes Jules or some shit, because I'm not dating anything less than a white girl with a fat ass. So she, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, no, that's right. And I hope people have this conversation, especially people who feel like black men or black women who feel like Terrell. Really think about it, because what he said was a lot of it was what is it called? Insecurity. A lot of black people walk around with insecurity and they never talk about it, never address it. And he's finally speaking his truth. Now, you may not like his preference or the woman he date, but at the end of the day, he's being honest and he's not ridiculing anybody. He's not talking down anybody. He's just speaking his truth, whether you agree with it or not. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, like I said, people need to stop judging other people and really our people need to be more supportive of each other instead of, oh, you act like a white boy or you look like you. That doesn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Not every black person, black man in the project's got to walk around with his pants sagging, talking in hood terms. That's not what a black person is. And I think
right,
that's what we need to get away from. The
right.
fact that, because I don't talk like the other black men at my job, that don't make any sense.
Yeah, but I think that the day where we don't make judgments and assumptions based on the way that somebody talks or carries himself, that's a long day from now. That is a very long day from now, or a long time from now, where we're gonna stop doing this type of dumb shit to ourselves. Because it was funny. I wish I was there when she was saying all of that. Like, I literally wish that I was there so I could have that conversation with this lady. Because I actually want to know, like, why she thinks that, like, almost to have, like, how should I say, to be articulate, to be well spoken, to be fucking intelligent, is that I would ask, is that a bad thing? I would have been like, because I would ask her if she said that to you and I was standing there, I'd be like, so what do you mean, like, you act white? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because I don't want to say nigga all the fucking time. I would legit ask her. I would legit ask her. Like, I have to freaking, you know what I'm saying, belittle I would have to freaking belittle my social aptitude for you and stoop to freaking, colloquial vernacular. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, miss, do you even know what that means? You see what I'm saying? But and this is why we go to other people. I'm not even gonna front. It's like when I was around, that white family, and I was renting a room in their house for a little while, like, they treated me like family in a year more than black people have did my whole entire life. And I'm talking about just like what home life is supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? Like, and if I didn't know any better, I would have been like, wow, So they treated me with such love and respect. Maybe I could just get a white girl and then I won't have to deal with the drama. I don't have to deal with the stress. That's what a lot of dudes be thinking. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them because I don't want to. The thing is, the last thing I want to do is be involved with a woman just because she's black. And then for me to have to go through mad, trauma, drama, and freaking stress just to say that I'm dating a black woman. So again, I haven't lost hope that there's going to be a nice black girl out there at some fucking point that is going to be what I need. And then that way I could be that for her. Because I have in one of my videos, I was saying that I was talking about one of my ex-girlfriends and I said I couldn't be the best boyfriend, fucking, significant partner, whatever the fuck I'm supposed to be by being with somebody like that who's just not for me. So right. Hopefully, again, at some point in life, there will be somebody like that because I just don't believe that it will come in the form of a white girl. I'm really trying to like put that together in my mind and I just don't see it. And let me ask you real quick, like when you walk down the street with your girl, do you feel that people like you get a little bit more attention than like you probably would have if you're walking down the street with a black girl?
Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, I mean, you see the hair and everything, I always get attention regardless. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things, especially when I'm around, a lot of minorities. Yeah, people tend to, do a little double look. But it doesn't bother me because I know at the end of the day, I'm still pro-black. You know what I'm saying? It's my whole dating history is not just a white girl, or you know what I'm saying. So it doesn't bother me. But I will say, it's funny you mention that because I do see other interracial couples, right, where like sometimes I'm not. You know what? I'm gonna be honest here. I run into a lot of interracial couples, black men especially, and black women dating, white people, and they come across like they don't even acknowledge me at all. It's crazy. Like when I'm in public, when Natalie, I still talk, if something funny happen, I'll associate with a black person, whatever. That doesn't stop me. But I noticed, especially in LA, I noticed that a lot. And with interracial couples, like there was this one couple, black woman and a white guy. She would never say anything to me when he came in. And I used to see him every night when I was working. He used to always say what's up to me. She would just act like she never seen me before. She didn't recognize me. And there was a lot of people who do that. I don't understand why people do that. But, it probably goes back to, like you said before, self-hatred. A lot of people build in that self-hatred. So they don't want any association with people that they deem to look like them. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that bothers me when people get into these relationships and they act like black people don't exist. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff that bothers me.
Well, I honestly, I think that's like, again, just the result of trauma and self-loathing because whoever this person is, I feel like I would say like not all black people that date white people, but I would say a decent percentage of them, they would feel bad if they ever went their separate ways with that particular white person because they've attached a good portion of their identity on that said white man or woman. So then they would feel less sedity or less like a white person if they were no longer with that person anymore. And again, that's like some Django plantation house nigga comfort girl shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't remember if you ever seen Django, but the pretty black girl that was like in the nice dress when they were watching the Mandingo fights and stuff like that. And then I think she was like smoking a cigarette. She had that nice dress on and shit like that. That's how they feel. That's how they feel. Sometimes I even see these TikTok videos or shit that Umar Johnson might post where like it'll be like the black girl with the white guy. And then the black girl just has this freaking like aura and like demeanor about herself that like shit, you would think she got $1 million, standing next to the fucking white guy, like she won the lottery or some shit. So, again, like in conclusion, everybody has, their reasons, for what they do. And, to kind of like adjust what you said, where you were like, when you said, if you're going to date out, do it respectfully or some shit, to me, I would say do it for the right reasons more so than that, because, dating someone else really doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. You know what I mean? So if you're going to do it because this person is just the right match, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And then for black people, it's like, if you can find a black man or woman to be with, find them. Because at this rate, the way that we're going and we keep dating out and stuff like that, I would say by let's see, 21, 23, the year 21, 23, shit, 13% will probably go down to 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how they get you. If they stop you from reproducing with yourselves and reproducing with their own people, you will then cease to exist after a certain amount of time, because we are the minority, at least in America. I would have to look at the world population. I know there's a lot of black people in Africa, but then again, you know what I'm saying, you got white people in South Africa, and then you got Arabs in North Africa. So then sub-Saharan Africa could get wiped out if they get the same freaking mentality, but they can't, because white people in South Africa and Arabs in North Africa are fucking racist. But anyway, with that said, what are your thoughts? Please be sure, as always, to like, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.